Hello, Caroline.
Morning.
How are we?
We're very good. Feel like we've only just left each other.
It feels like it's a long time coming, this podcast, to be fair.
Yeah, I should have probably been one of the first.
So the podcast is the Made for Video podcast, as we all know by now. I've not actually changed it. I was actually thinking about changing it to the Made for Socials podcast.
Cool.
We do more broad social stuff now, but as it stands, it's the Made for Video podcast. I've been saying this on every one that we've done, to be fair. As I always start it, for anyone in my audience who might not be aware of who you are.
Do you know who I am?
How could I? We basically WhatsApp each other 24 hours a day and bounce ideas off each other 24 hours a day.
Go to all the same events.
Yeah, about the concept room. Even though, weirdly, we've both been in business for a while, and we've never actually crossed paths before this, and now we can't stop crossing paths.
I know, and the network that you're in, I already knew, and
I know.
Weird.
I know, it's so bizarre.
Yeah.
But it's like that whole reticular activation thing, isn't it? Like, it's selective focus. You just get what you focus on.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, for anyone in my audience who may not be aware of what you do, fill us in.
So, background marketing with a big area around sustainability. And I'm now in marketing mentoring, so I help people in marketing roles to grow in confidence, progress in their careers, learn more about the basics and also the intricacies of marketing, and with a strong focus on AI in marketing as well. So, but another part of my businesses, which I love, is I write award submissions for businesses, and I give them the chance to sit down and talk about why they're in business, why they do what they do, why they're good at what they do, why they're better than everybody else, and then I put it all down on paper and I help them win awards.
Well, we're going to chat loads of shit about marketing, but I want to touch on the awards.
Yeah.
Because you had some good news yesterday, didn't you?
Buzzing.
Bear in mind, just for context on this, today is the 20th of November as we're filming this.
Yeah.
So this may go out in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So this might be a few weeks on. But yesterday on the 19th of November, what happened?
One of my long-term clients won the Great British Entrepreneur Award for Best Business, Family Business. I was absolutely delighted. It has taken me 8 years to get him on paper and in front of... we got a few shortlists for local awards, but I'd never gone for a national award for him before. And I got a shortlist and we were delighted. I got a little call off the award saying, do you think that they're going to attend? And I said to him, you need to get in front of these people. It's a great network. It's an opportunity to even be shortlisted. And then they phoned me again and said, do you think he's going to be coming? Because he was busy with work and he hadn't booked his tickets. And I said, you've got to go. And he went and he won. And I was so delighted because I'm so delighted for him because my previous client the year before went and won as well in the purpose category. And then they actually hosted the awards this year. So I feel like I've really helped two businesses elevate their profiles massively in an awards programme. Who knows what will happen, with them. It's just, and I'm not saying it's down to me, it's all their effort. I just get the chance to write their story, which I love.
Yeah, well, that, to me, as marketing has sort of evolved rapidly over the last few years, storytelling is essentially what it is, isn't it?
Absolutely, all the way.
It's the only thing that has stood the test of time and will stand the test of time as long as humans live. Yeah. So with this AI revolution, I was at an event yesterday morning and there was two guys talking about AI speaking. Yeah. So everyone's talking about it. Everyone's getting involved in this AI stuff. I've got this feeling like it'll disrupt Google, ChatGPT.
Oh, they've already got...
People are searching on ChatGPT more than Google now.
And my little boy...
Well, I don't know if that's an actual, properly backed up stat yet, but eventually...
Oh, yeah.
AI tools will totally disrupt Google, actually.
My little boy talks to ChatGPT. He doesn't type anything, he talks to it and it responds and it's really kind to him and he loves it and it blows our minds a little bit and he'll just be in the corner of the room just chatting to ChatGPT and I'm like, what are you doing that? I'm talking to Chat.
It's mad, isn't it? It's absolutely mad. So how long have you been in marketing for?
Oh my gosh. Did a graduate programme in 2001 and then moved into a marketing role 2003. So yeah, too long.
Ooh, 21 years.
Yeah.
So how has it evolved over that time?
So I started as a graduate trainee doing event. I was in a distribution business, and one day I'm in a warehouse and I'm wearing steely toe caps and high vis, and I'm filthy, and I'm talking to burly drivers who are being really rude because I was in Essex. They're like, "Where are you from?" You know, it wasn't a good experience. So I said to my manager, "I need to get out of this." And one of the other managers in the business said, "Put her into events because she's brilliant with people." And they gave me an event to deliver, and I loved it. And then they gave me a conference, and then they started giving me PR, and then they gave me the website to manage, and it just evolved. And then I got seconded into the group business, and they gave me the chance to be part of a team that organised a bicentenary celebration for the company. It took us a year to organise it, and then I got put into university and did one degree, then I did another degree, and then I moved into a really well established employee engagement program, which I delivered to, oh my gosh, it was amazing. I delivered this program to 5,000 employees in 20 countries, travelled all over the world. I literally had the best job in the world. So my focus now is really about that engagement piece. So marketing is the comms, but it's more about engaging people in the conversation and helping them be part of the story. So I'm hugely about the storytelling. So, but just talking about AI, I've used AI after I've produced in my awards copy, but I started writing notes and then going away and creating a story for someone. And now I went to Zoom and started to do Zoom calls and take notes and, you know, type them up and then create a strategy for the client so they could understand how I was going to do the award story for them. Now I do a Zoom call. I have an AI tool that takes all the notes. I then have video content that I can use as part of the awards like contribution as well. It's changed massively, but even the way that you submit awards now, it's not just like a Word document on an email. It's a fully automated process. So yeah, you've got to come along on the journey.
One thing that I find really fascinating is if you rewind 20 years, it was like company logo, the CEO, the chairman, the managing director, they were all hidden. No one knew who they were for these big companies. No. Now you've got the likes of Elon Musk, all the billionaires basically, who are front facing. And if you look at their like social media profiles, their personal brands have more followers and bigger accounts than the businesses themselves.
They do.
For example, a perfect example of this, Cristiano Ronaldo. I think he's the most followed sportsman on Instagram.
Do you know how much he gets for every post on Instagram?
It's
£3 million.
It's ridiculous.
For every post.
It's ridiculous. So if you look at that,
madness.
I think he's something like triple the account size of Real Madrid, who he played for.
Wow.
That is a total 180 from what it was 20 years ago. Because nothing would ever be bigger than like a big company, right? Like, and don't get me wrong, the professional brands are still massive and massively important. But actually, it's the front-facing thing, whereas, you know, I mean, if you speak to people who are a bit more long in the tooth, let's say, they don't quite get it.
No, and I think that there's loads of businesses out there that could really leverage their employees' engagement online to elevate their brand. That it's actually, it should be part of the strategy.
Do you think that's like a fear thing? Of like, oh,
reputational.
If this employee gets really good on social, they're going to end up leaving the company. And
you just said it right, long in the tooth. They think that reputationally that they will say something they shouldn't say about the company. Yeah. They shouldn't allow their staff, because our policies, our social media policies and our online policies, when they first came out, it was like, don't talk about the business. In your social media, don't talk about it. You know, and now it's like, talk about us. But, you know, you do have to be conscious that there's certain ways of, you know, there's certain messaging you should use for a business. Yeah. But I think that we're all getting a bit more savvy in that respect, and you know, we know what we can and can't do on social.
There's definitely a certain generation of people that, and I count myself in this, that grew up without social media.
I'm dead proud of that fact.
I'm also dead proud of that fact. Yeah. And I think that shaped me better than what I would be if I had social media. Yeah. But that said, I probably would have got up to less mischief when I was younger if I did have social media, because you know that any mischief that goes on, it'll be all over some form of social media before you quicker than you know it, which is a weird thing to think.
Never thought about it like that.
So it probably would have made me a little bit more sensible in a way. That said, we're going to get to a point where everyone has grown up with social media.
Yeah.
So we look at our kids who are, 7, 4 and 1, let's say. Yeah. When they grow up, their generation, no one will have not had social media.
I know. And where will it be by that point?
I know. I think I've got this theory that iPhones will look like bloody, do you know the old, at that point
like
in
the
time,
Nokias.
iPhones will be like the old Nokias, and then eventually they'll become, remember the big fuck off mobile phones?
Yeah.
Years ago.
Yeah,
I mean, the first mobile phone I had was an orange phone. Remember Orange Wednesdays at the cinema?
Yeah.
And it had 2 arrows on it, and you basically, to read the text message, you have to like tap, 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 tap.
I had a Motorola.
And the text would go across the screen like this, tap, 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 tap.
Like a pager.
Yeah.
So I had a Motorola flip, like a little flip thing. I didn't think that actually did anything. Just think it made it bigger on your face, so it felt more familiar. Like
it felt
phone.
cool. I think it felt trendy. Yeah.
But I didn't know how to compose a text. I only knew how to reply to one.
Yeah.
So people would be texting me, I'm like, how did you do that?
It was like that predictive text, wasn't it? Like.
Oh, I don't remember that. It was on a green screen
So
with black letters.
you were able to type it normally, like type a normal text, and the predictive text. So you'd basically like say press A, and it'd predict the next word for you.
But I'm talking like 1998 here. I'm not talking like 2005,
this was
6.
on like. I left school in 2003. I want to say. And at that point, I had a Nokia. So iPhones didn't really come full circle.
2007.
Yeah.
And I didn't even get involved till 2009.
But even at that point, people were wary of touchscreens. So it's like, oh, it doesn't have buttons. It's a touchscreen. What if it breaks?
So isn't it funny? My friends got a proper dial phone, and I'm missing. I like that. And there was a video, this girl was going, wouldn't it be great if there was just one phone in the house that everybody could call? And you're just like, oh my God, we've really moved on, that she doesn't even know that we all had phones on the walls, and we had phones at the bottom of our stairs. And I spent days sitting on stairs. Now, for a phone, to think in the future, when I was sitting on the stairs with that phone, that there would be something in my pocket that I could create video content, and I could send messages and voice messages and everything to my friends. It was off the TV. It was never going to be real, and it was like, and we are so much further than that now.
I remember getting one version of the Nokia, and it had the radio on, and it was like you could plug your headphones in.
No way.
And you could listen to the radio, and I was like, this is amazing. I can listen to the radio.
It's like the iPod, isn't it?
And then now you can basically function your life off your phone. Like I could literally run my business off my phone. In theory.
Yeah.
I can edit videos, I can post to YouTube, I can post to Instagram, all for free.
Do your invoicing, reply to your friends, phone people all over the world, hold Zoom events.
Yeah, I've got a notes app, make notes, do different things.
It is amazing.
I can literally, if I'm in a say a event like we were in last night, I could literally take out my phone, get an app, hit record. It would record the whole meeting. Yeah. Recorded. AI would then summarise that meeting and put it into tangible bullet points for me, so I'm not having to read through the whole thing, and summarise the whole thing. And then that could create a social media calendar based on that event and give me content ideas all through it in the matter of seconds.
Literally seconds.
And that to me is the exciting part, because that's where you're going to leverage time back, actually.
But think about what you've just talked about then. We went to an event last night about intergenerational workforce. So we're talking about people who are retiring or have got 10 years left, and people who are literally just joining the business world. The difference in those people is worlds apart. Like, there was a guy there last night who got his email that had been printed out on paper for his instructions. And it just made me giggle, because I used to do the same. I used to print emails out for my directors and give them to them, and that's their instructions of what to do. And we're talking 15 years ago, and he's still doing it. And then we've got a 16-year-old in the room who's talking about joining the workforce and needing adaptations so that they can use social media and they can do all of the things they need to do to help them feel safe and part of a team. It's so huge when these people are both working in the same places.
It's totally mad.
It is. It's so crazy. How do you bring that together? And I do think we've got a lot to learn from the younger generation about all of this.
Yeah, it would be a mistake for people like me and you to assume that people younger than us are less smart than us, because that's simply not true.
Well, my little boy's got, unfortunately, he doesn't know it's private, but he's got a private YouTube channel. But some of the videos he puts out, I'm like, how do you do that? How did you do that on my phone? How did you find those animations? How did you change the background? He's 7.
I've got a 4-year-old and he can navigate. He gets up in the morning now, literally grabs the TV remote, navigates to YouTube, knows exactly where to find, Peppa Pig or, what's it, Stephen, bloody Ben and Holly, whatever.
Love it.
Yeah.
One of my faves.
All that.
Sean the chef.
And I'm thinking to myself, he can do that at 4.
Yeah.
So, he, like, as time goes on, he's going to learn. And when he gets to 17, 18, 19, gets into his career, he's going to have all that skill set built up because he's growing up literally in direct conjunction with all this evolving.
Yeah.
And that to him will be normal.
So isn't it interesting? I used to work in a business where I had a partner that was 10 years younger than me. And she could do all these things that were like automations and, Zappiers talking to this and that, doing that, and these workflows and everything. And I was a bit like, okay, I understand it now, but oh my gosh, it was so new to me like 5 years ago. I had no idea how you do any of these things.
But even getting to that point,
learn.
even like the likes of connecting a Zap up, most people, when I started coaching, right, starting my online coaching business, and I needed to connect, like, say, my Calendly to my Google Calendar to an appointment setting
tool.
CRM.
Yeah.
And then it was like a, few touch points, automated autoresponder, weekly check-in, pinged out, all that. And I'd literally just have to go through it and figure out how to connect everything up, get all the API keys, all the shit that I just don't want to do.
See, I know what you mean, but I probably couldn't do it all myself.
Well, now AI can do it.
Well,
you just say, right, I want a journey from here to here with using these softwares, and you just type it in, and it just pings it together.
It is amazing. It is amazing.
And all you have to do is literally just copy and paste whatever detail you want into it.
So here, let's look at it from a different perspective. When will we not be required?
Well, that's a good question.
What do we bring to the table that you can't get from AI?
I'm looking at, we do content creation within the content room now. So we do podcasts, we do social media content, we do website content, we do onboarding content, resources, lead magnets, interviews, everything. So a broad array of content now. And I'm looking at the AI tools. Some of them are getting really powerful. It's nothing I would personally create in the way I like to create.
Yeah.
But it can still do a job, and it will evolve and evolve and evolve, and it will be fucking spectacular at some point. That said, though, I use AI as an assistant to my workflow now.
Yeah.
But it's not my workflow. And I think it's my personal belief that I want to be creative. I don't want tools to take away that creativity that I've got in my head.
Yeah.
Because that's the fun part, right?
See, I love writing.
If I take out the creativity from my work, it's almost like there's no purpose to it.
Yeah.
Because what's left? Like, what's left?
I totally get it. When I write awards copy for people, I literally go on their life journey with them, because you wouldn't believe some of the things that come up for managers and directors of companies when they're talking about their journey, and I'm with them, I'm there, and all I want to do then is put that down on paper for them. Don't get me wrong, AI can probably make it sound more succinct and bring it into the word count for me, but I've got the pleasure of using my writing skills to create the content for that submission, and I don't want someone to stop me writing.
Yeah. So if I've got a client, you, for example, or Nick, or Liam, or Alison, or Mary, anyone, and I produce an amazing a piece of video content for that client.
Yeah.
There's so much satisfaction that I get from just seeing that finished product, and I've intricately edited it, and I've made it so it, you know, really tangible, really concise, really gets views on it, really like that wow factor when the client's looking at it, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's satisfying, right?
Yeah.
If AI takes that away from me, it's like, that's gone.
Yeah.
There's no moment like that for me anymore. But that said, it doesn't mean it's bad in the sense that if I can do that same piece of content in an hour when usually it would take me 4 hours.
Yes.
I get 4 of them moments a day because of AI.
See, this is what I was about to say. I was like, it's the time poor businesses, isn't it, that can't.
Well, at some point, you've got to leverage time back.
Yes.
There's like, everyone's got 24 hours in a day.
Yeah.
And at some point, you have to leverage time back.
Yeah.
There's only so much manpower you've got.
Yeah.
Especially when you've got young kids. Like, it's an absolute different fucking ball game.
Yeah.
And I was really unempathetic to parents, actually, especially when I was PTing. I was like, no, even when I have kids, I'll just get it done, regardless, da-da-da. It's an absolute fucking whirlwind, right? So actually...
And and don't take this the wrong way, and you're the dad. It's much easier for the dad.
Well, I'm doing probably 20% of the work at home.
Yeah.
20-30%.
But it's the brain energy.
Yeah.
It's the brain energy.
Yeah, so you get home from work, and ordinarily you would think, I'm just going to sit down, I'm going to have my tea, you know, watch the chase or something at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, yeah.
And then put the kids down, happy days. Never works like that.
No.
Never.
No.
You know, from 7 o'clock in the morning when we wake up to fucking 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
You literally, it's not a second. Now, if you're in a normal job, in a 9 to 5, you might be able to get away with doing 20 minutes of just, you know, Googling a few things or...
Well, they reckon you only do 3 or 4 hours work a day in an office.
Yeah, probably maximum.
You get interrupted.
I mean, when I worked in an office, when I worked in the gym, I was probably less than that, to be fair.
Yeah.
It was like, of actual considered work.
But paid.
Yeah, stuff that I'm actually, what I would consider brain-powered work, like, would be a few hours a day.
Yeah.
When we're doing jobs like ours, your mind is on it 24/7, and that's tiring in itself.
It is.
Just being switched on. So you get home, and get the baby past you, happy days, okay. But then he starts crying, then you've got to change his nappy, then you've got to do the tea, and then you've got to bath the baby.
Dog.
Yeah, it's like literally like a military-style operation. And that's why I love the summer, because it doesn't matter what time you get home. The dog can get walked at 8:30. Yeah. Now you got to put your fucking high vis on and your fucking your headlamp and all that, and the dog doesn't even want to go out anyway, and it's freezing.
I'm alright.
And you feel bad because the dog's like looking at you going,
I was happy in front of the fire.
Should have had a walk today.
No, that's why I do. So one of the things I've put in place, Nick and I are really good at being a team. The military precision. He knows exactly what I don't want to do, and he picks that up. And I've made walking the dog mine because it's for me as much as it's for them. But it's done first thing. So they are done, dusted, happy, and I can have a guilt-free day.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
That said, though, like, this podcast is a great example. Ordinarily, I would literally take the footage, put it in the editing software, put it in Premiere Pro, and I would literally sit there for 2 hours and manually chop the podcast.
Ding, 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 ding.
And make it all, you know, look like a podcast. Now there's an AI tool that I use that literally you click a button, put the timings in that you want, put all the information you want, bing, 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 3 minutes, done.
Amazing.
So, in theory, I could bank up a day of podcasts like this and have 4 or 5 of them edited in the space of a day. In the space of a day. In the space of an evening.
Yeah.
That's leveraging time back.
Yeah.
Now, am I going to complain with that? Absolutely not.
No.
But what I don't want is for that creativity to be taken away from me, because there's definitely an art form in doing the thingy.
But there's the pride that comes with it.
Yeah.
So when I deliver, I would say, when I deliver an award submission to a client, I'm still nervous. I still feel really anxious about whether we're going to get a shortlist. I realised that of the 28 submissions I've done over the past few years, I've had one that hasn't got a shortlist. So I can get anyone a shortlist. And that is as good as a win sometimes, because where have you got to go? You know, once you win, where have you got to go? So, you know, shortlists are good. It's good for PR. It's good for your business. It's good for your team, for them to see that you're actually exceeding in an area. But I don't feel like I've achieved anything until they get their shortlist. I'm waiting for King's Awards to come through to find out whether my clients have been placed in the King's Awards, and I've got to wait till May next year. We submitted it in September.
Yeah. I would love to win an award. I would genuinely love to win an award. That said, I would never nominate myself for an award. Yeah. And I'd want it to be based on the fucking great work that we do.
Yeah.
Like, so if we did win the award or win any award, it's genuinely deserved.
Yeah.
Not, because I know, not naming any names, but I genuinely know people who've just put themselves in. Oh yeah, I'm so made up to be nominated for this award, but they put themselves in.
I completely understand, because the awards that a lot of companies go for is for Entrepreneur of the Year, Business Person of the Year, but you don't write that yourself. No. You've got to get it from somebody else's perspective.
If I do great work with you, as an example, and you're fucking tremendously successful based off the work that we've done together, and you go, do you know what? I genuinely wouldn't be where I am without the help of Steve, or vice versa.
Yeah.
And I'd genuinely like to nominate you as a, young businessman of the year, or up and comer, whatever the award would be. That is something I can get on board with.
Yeah.
But when it's like just some random person who nominate himself for like an award, it's like, come on.
No, I know what you mean. And I think it's really important that businesses invest in awards programs, because it's not just about the business being recognised for something, it's about the people in the business that have created the business, and that's who you're thanking. You're not thanking your business owner.
You're only as good as your workforce, aren't you?
Yeah. So I had a wonderful experience with a client. It was one of my first really big awards programs that I did over a couple of years. And he sold carpets. And I'm thinking, okay, let's see how this goes. But then I got to know him, and I learnt about him, and I saw his motivations, and I understood his drive, and I understood why he loved what he did and why he wanted to keep doing it. And I was working in partnership with his coach to really establish what his goals were and where he was going to take the business. And he won everything. The story was just beautiful. It started in school, and it carried on all the way through, and he was still really young. And I was getting him in the under 40s awards, under 30s awards. I was getting him in the local awards. I got him in the industry awards. He was just a really beautiful story to write about. And my proudest moment was, he was at the Echo Awards at the Cathedral, which is huge. He was in for 2 categories, and I'm watching on Twitter, and because they always invite me and I say no, I can't cope going, it's really stressful. So I'm on Twitter watching, and I'm like, didn't win any. And I'm gutted, because we'd won everything. And he phones me the next day and he was like, we got Judge's Choice. They did a 5-minute bio on my entire business with video and photos, and my granddad was there. And me and my granddad went up and won the award, got the award together. And I think that's one of my proudest moments. And I know that all I did was write the story, but the memory for him of being with his granddad on that stage is just...
So here's a question for you. What would you say is the key to a brilliant story?
Being open about your story.
That's a big question.
Being open about your story. You're not in this business because of the business. You're in this business because of who you are as a person. And I want to know where you came from, the choices you made about business, what stopped you, who your mentors were, what you do now to help the next generation of the workforce. I want to know your drive and purpose.
It's like the hero's journey.
Yeah. I love interviewing people, and the thought now that we can interview them in this space and we can get that video content as well that we can use for the awards, that really excites me.
Yeah. I'm excited for that as well, to be fair. Because,
yeah, it's going to be great.
I mean, just since we opened the content room, my network of contacts is crazy big now.
Yeah.
But weirdly, I'm more sceptical about giving referrals because my network is, I value it so much. I'm very cautious about who I give a referral to, because I don't want to give someone a referral and then to turn around and go, why the fuck have you referred that person to me, or put that person, he's a fucking dickhead, or because I'm more aware that people aren't a fit for everyone, obviously.
Yeah.
But because I can refer now, it's like, wow.
I like how you've got this client base who have they take you on board, and then they take you with them to all of their contacts, and they showcase you, and then their contacts are all like, oh, can we use you as well? So it's really powerful because you do move around. We don't just rely on the content room, but the content room is here for a space to create and maybe sometimes to help people unpick what they want to talk about on camera.
100%.
Because a lot of people have been nervous and anxious, and by the time we finished, they're like, that was great.
It's such a... It really is a relationship game.
Yeah.
It's you know, building relationships. Now, that's not a sexy thing. That's not the soundbite that's going to make me £1 million or 10 million quid a year. It's not. No. It's not. Because people want now.
Yeah.
People want... If you can take a selfie and put it on Instagram and get 300 likes and loads of views, or do something stupid. I watched the kid the other day who's like crashed his car on purpose for views. So people doing like crazy shit, right? But you don't want to nurture a relationship for 6 months.
Yeah.
Then take the clients on. Then keep giving value after that.
Yeah.
Keep over delivering. Keep going above and beyond. Maybe sometimes that's not even in your job role. But in turn, what you're getting back, the value proposition of that is, I'm getting invited to events that I wouldn't necessarily go to. I'm getting introduced to people that are fucking high fucking rollers.
Yeah.
Some big wigs in companies that I would never have got in the room with otherwise.
Well, I think yesterday...
But that's a long game, right?
Well, like, exactly. Yesterday, you were there for one reason, and now you've been able to showcase your skill set to a huge group of people who now recognise that me, you and Alison are in a little bit of a collab, and we're supporting one another.
Well, there's a story. We were at that event last night, and there was a girl there who does placements for young people from West Cheshire College. That's exactly what we're looking for. That's a collaboration straight away.
Yeah. Well, she's already been in touch this morning and put me in touch with somebody, and I'm going to be helping to do mentoring with the young people, which I love.
So I didn't realise that you could get 312 hours of over 2 years of basically free labour and experience to put people in.
Yeah, but just think what they get. That 300
well,
is amazing.
That's the value proposition back, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
They're not getting monetary pay for it. Well, they may have some funding, but none of us.
Yeah.
But what they're getting back, the value proposition of that. If I was 17 to 19 or 19 to 21 now, and I could come in here and learn all the shit that I do now for free.
Yeah. That on your CV.
It would be, I would bite your fucking hand off.
Totally. So I used to mentor the next generation.
But you don't know what you don't know, right?
Well, exactly. I used to mentor the next generation of the business I was in. So they were all around 14 to 17. They'd come in and they'd like sit with me for a week, and I would give them the best experience ever. So I'm like, right, let's get loads of client meetings booked that week. Let's perhaps instigate a lunch with a client. Let's go to an event. Let's, be part of a working group or whatever it was. Their heads would be blown, and they'd come away. That's the best work experience, especially after they'd been in accounts for a week, and then they'd been in like ops for a week, and then they came into marketing. They were just like, love marketing. Love it. I do love the opportunity to mentor. So when we met that lady yesterday, she just opened my eyes again to how much I want to do it again, and how much everyone should do it, because you can impact massively.
Marketing, like everything. I would go as far as to say that everything that you think and feel as an adult is influenced on marketing in some way.
You're absolutely right. Yeah, of course it is.
And everything is white noise until you become the ideal client.
Yeah.
So like, you might go years and years without thinking about getting a dog, and then all of a sudden you start thinking, oh, do you know what, I really want to get a dog. I'm in a time in my life where I can look after a dog and I want to get a dog. All of a sudden, you start seeing fucking dog content everywhere, and dog marketing everywhere, and dog adverts and all that.
Yeah, but that is because your phones are listening.
yeah. Well,
or are they?
Funny story. Do you know that Natasha Bedingfield song?
Yeah.
I
know exactly what you mean.
That song. The theme tune to The Hills, right?
Right.
Do you know that?
I know that. Yeah.
So the reality TV show The Hills.
Yeah.
Right. The theme tune to that song is Natasha Bedingfield. I can't even think what the name of the song is, but the dead catchy one.
Yeah.
Everyone knows it. We're on the way to Costco. That song comes on the radio, right?
Yeah.
We get to Costco, and the baby is asleep in the back of the car. So we're like sitting in Costco car park for like 10, 15 minutes, just scrolling on our phone, didn't want to wake the baby up. All of a sudden, The Hills content started coming up in my Explore feed. And I was like, I haven't watched The Hills for fucking years. I used to watch it on T4 years ago.
Seen it.
And now, all of a sudden, because that song has been on the radio, well, if I'm a conspiracy theorist, that song just came on the radio, and now the phone's been listening, and now it's presenting me with the Hills content.
Well, it does it all the time. Like, we'll text in a group WhatsApp, the girls, and then our feeds are full of all the stuff we've been talking about in our WhatsApps.
Fucking mad, isn't it?
It's scary.
Well, here's another one. I'm not actually a conspiracy theorist.
No, I'm not at all. But isn't this right? Isn't this what happened?
So this is a conspiracy theory that I've heard. I don't even know if it's just a theory. I don't know if it's a conspiracy theory. But Apple have been withholding a search engine for years. Because imagine how many iPhones in the world now that people have. If Apple just made
and wouldn't let you have the others on
a search engine that was exclusive to Apple iPhones and iPads, and Google just wasn't it.
But you couldn't put Google on your phone.
Yeah, and it was just, if you had an iPhone, you had to use the Apple search engine.
Yeah.
But apparently, Google have been paying Apple billions and billions and billions of pounds for years and years and years not to release it.
No way.
That is mad, isn't it?
Yeah, totally.
But why wouldn't you? If you're Apple, why wouldn't you just release your own search engine?
There's so many things like that out there, aren't there? Like that, I heard this story once that P. Diddy, controversial, has to pay Sting £7,000 a day to use his song that he used years ago. That was 20 odd years ago. £7,000 a day. Happy days.
Yeah. In no way are we saying Sting was involved in any Diddy parties.
No, he wasn't there.
To be fair, I hope he's not, because I fucking love Sting. I used to love R. Kelly as well, to be fair.
Oh,
but
God.
Fucking hell, that ended up going a bit fucking south.
America, I mean, we can't deny it must be going on in the UK as well, but America, you are shocking.
Yeah. I know. Standard behaviour. So, as we stand on the 20th of November...
Believe it, it's a month till Christmas.
We've got the business brunch event coming up.
We have.
On the 12th, which is going to be...
delicious.
Excellent.
Because we've got some lovely people wanting to get involved.
Yes. I think we've got 10 booked on as of now, but we'd
like to see 20 people here, wouldn't we? That'd be really nice.
To be honest with you, I think we'll exceed that, because at the launch events, we were expecting about 15 to 20 people. We ended up getting about 50 through the door in a day. And we were actually ushering people out at the end, to be fair.
You wouldn't leave. That was interesting, because when you do an event, you're like, oh, I hope it keeps its energy and its momentum. No one sat down. No one used the couches. Everyone stood up. Everybody's in the kitchen.
I've never actually studied like launch sequences and launch events that heavily. I've launched products and I've launched different things in my life. What I've realised is I'm actually decent at launching events. You
are, because you do a priority list. And you get interest first, and that's really important, because if people show interest, then they feel like it's a bit special when you do it, because you've actually listened to them.
And they've bought into it.
Yeah,
well, they feel like a small... Like, that's why I like doing surveys. Like, before you launch something, you survey, send it out to a lot of people, say, look, I'd love your input into this.
Yeah.
I'm building this thing. I'd love your input. What do you need?
Yeah.
And they fill out the survey. I give you some details. And just the fact that they fill the survey in, and they might go onto an email list or a wait list, and they're getting peppered with like nurturing emails and stuff. The fact that they have had that little bit of input, and then they see that thing go into the thing that you're building, they almost feel like they have been a small part of it.
Yeah.
And it builds a massive amount of buy-in before they actually even sign up.
Yeah.
And then when you get into it, it's like, wow, this is actually not only just solved the problem that I was asking for, but they've done it really good.
Yeah.
And they produced it really
well. So I'm
going
to tell people about it?
And I'm going to tell people about it, yeah. And actually, I built out my first business on word of mouth. So I never really took any notice of, like, marketing.
Yeah.
And then when I went into the big wide online world, I quickly realised, oh shit, I need some marketing.
Yeah.
And that's when I started to learn it all. But I just want, like, all the events that we do, all the content that we do, when we launched the app and the content club and all that, like, I want everything, like, our mission is to make content that no one can compete with. Like, no one makes better content than us. And that's a constant striving thing, right? Yeah. I was listening to Jamie Ray yesterday, and he said, put your hand up in the air like this. And everyone put the hand up. So put your hand up in the air. Okay, take it down. And then put it up nice and high. Okay. Why didn't you do it that high the first time.
Yeah, hesitant.
Yeah.
To see what everyone else does.
And that's what people are like when they're taking action and making content.
Yeah.
It's like, they make it like this, which is good enough.
Yeah.
You put the hand up.
Yeah.
But are you going the extra mile in doing this? So you can always reach that little bit higher.
Yeah.
So the mission for us is just to make content
like
that really no one... like, there's like that, like, again, quoting Jamie Ray, that wow factor, that wow moment of like, the video that you've done fucking amazing. You know, this is, we could not have done this ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's going to make us into the biggest content creative agency in the country, hopefully. That's the mission.
Build.
Build. It's not easy.
No.
It's not easy. It's not easy. But we love it and we go for it and we make shit happen. So
we do.
So to round off, we've got some good stuff there, but to round off, let's talk a little bit about the Content Club.
Okay.
Now, this is really, really in its infancy stage. It's like, we've not actually created, like, full transparency, we haven't actually created any resources for this yet. We are mapping it all out at the moment. But we've had an idea called the Content Club.
Yeah.
And, yeah, give people a little breakdown.
Okay, so the Content Club for me is an opportunity for those businesses that haven't got £1,000 to come and invest in a load of content production, but can see the benefit of being part of a club that gives them a monthly networking opportunity, gives them access to training every month as part of that networking event, and also enables them to collect the money from the membership and use it to pay for 2 hours twice a year for fully edited and produced content. So instead of them having to, make that big investment in one go, they're actually networking. They're being trained on social media, but they're also getting some great content. In those 2 hours, Steve will, be able to create a month's worth of content, if not more, for you. So it's a really nice opportunity. If you've never used online edited and produced content before, it's a great place to start for a small investment. And we're not looking at much a month, for a person to come along. If you can see the value of, the content you're going to be producing, what would you charge for, 4 hours of fully produced and edited content? It's going to be probably more than £1,000, isn't it? 100%. So this is a really affordable opportunity for people to come in, pay around £75–85 a month, get to see a lovely group of people every month, learn from experts, so you can deliver some content, I can, but we'll also employ people to come in and deliver some great content on SEO, on web development, on social media management, on the algorithms, on the changes, on the platforms. So that's what we're looking to do, but also I'll let you take over what the app's about.
Well, it's not, firstly, it's like, we work with businesses now that make, like, let's make no bones about it, they make a lot of money.
Yeah.
So they can justify a high production thing that we can offer.
Well, some of them are investing 20 grand a year, aren't they, in their socials?
Yeah, 20 grand a year, 30 grand a year, which is great. Like, to me, that's a no-brainer because you're going to make a lot more than 20, 30 grand a year.
What that's going to bring in.
100%. Where the average salary for, like I say, a social media manager who doesn't do half of the stuff that we do is like 32 grand a year.
Yeah.
So the value to reward ratio there is just insane.
Yeah.
So that's why we do that. But what we wanted to do was for the sort of solopreneurs, maybe people starting out, they could pay a small monthly fee to get all that stuff that you mentioned, which is the exact tools to build a social media brand. So build your social media, become more visible. The question I always ask is, have you ever created a video and you think there's so much value in this video, it's going to help so many people, this video, and then you put it on and no one even takes any notice. And it's like, there's one like, maybe like your boyfriend or your mum, and then a comment, your mum saying, I'm so proud of you. So you've kind of become like this invisible thing where there's thousands of videos being posted every second.
Yeah.
People scroll past you in a second, it's gone. So you become like invisible almost. The impact that you make on that, in that piece of content is gone. And then the potential for income into the business is gone.
Yeah.
Based on that piece of content. So what we say is increase your visibility, we'll get you seen.
Yeah.
Through better content. And we have a system for that. called social media mapping. And in doing the visibility part of it, you can make more impact, which is what you want. Because if you're in business, you've got the impact inside you. You do stuff that you know that can help someone.
Yeah.
Whether you're one rung on the ladder above or 10 rung on the ladder above, you become impactful. And ultimately, the impact that you make is in direct correlation to the income that you get, and vice versa.
Yeah.
The more money you make, the more impact you can have, and vice versa. If you're providing a lot of impact but not making the income, you're not going to be able to make that impact for long because you'll be stacking shelves in Asda.
Yeah.
So within a month, if you could spare 2 hours and create content that gets you visible online, on social media, and makes an impact, genuinely helps people without, fucking conning anyone or fooling anyone, and you could directly see an increase in your income because of that.
Yeah.
And you create all that content for a month in 2 hours. It's a fucking no-brainer.
But it's hard to believe you can do that, but you've done this with me a couple of times. You're like, just sit down for a minute.
Yeah.
20 minutes later, I'm like, oh my God, and we've got 15 different video clips from it.
Yeah. And literally, it's a 360 service from strategy. So we don't just sit down and just point the camera at you and
because
just
we've discussed what the subjects I was going to...
100%. But when we get to know each other so well,
Yeah.
It's literally a case of, Caroline, just sit down a minute, I just want to talk to you a minute.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's that content marketing strategy part of it. The next part of it's the filming.
Yeah.
So we film it all, we edit it all. We make it look really, really cool.
Yeah.
And then as an added bonus, that we can manage your socials and make sure that it's performing right, make sure it's getting out at the right times.
That's massive. That is massive for people because there's so many businesses out there that have got unbelievable opportunities for employees to come and join their businesses, or they're launching new products, or they've got the best workforce.
If you could attract talent attraction, employee advocacy, lead gen, sales, the fucking fundamentals of business, and building a culture and a community and a team is packed into one 360 service.
Yeah.
It's massive.
Yeah.
So what we've done is we've took all the sort of the juice out of that we offer to our high paying clients, and we've condensed it into a package that's affordable for the average person starting out, and everyone starting out. It's massive.
Yeah.
So if you could literally have an app on your phone with all the resources on that you need, exclusive content every month, opportunities to connect with people that you might not have connected with before that are really beneficial to you in your business, and you're getting live in-person stuff, so it's a mixture of online and offline, and then in the future there's going to be bigger events happening, there's going to be collaboration days, content days that you can get involved in for a small monthly fee. It's like, come on.
I know. If you, I mean, for me,
I wouldn't miss out on that.
I would just like the fact that this space is here all the time. Even if you wanted to just pop in for 5 minutes when you during a networking event, just pop in with you and you do a quick video, and then you've got a week's worth of socials as well. So we're not holding this oh no, you can't go in there until you do your 2 hours. We want you to come, we want you to meet people, we want you to do the training, enjoy networking, but come in and sit down and do a bit of recording as well. Get comfortable with the space.
We've got clients now who do podcasts, and they'll say, right, I'm going to book 2 hours out, but I'm going to do 3 podcasts in that 2 hours. And I'm going to invite 3 people in.
Yeah, and have a big Christmas event.
Yeah, literally, got a girl at Jess who wants to come and do a monthly podcast.
Yeah.
Great, happy days. But she'll book the 2 hours out, but she might not use the 2 hours. She might use 40 minutes to do one podcast, and then she'll do another podcast next week, and then another podcast next week. And it's 40 minutes each. Okay, that's fine. You've got 3 40-minute podcasts a month with all that content inside that you can chop up and have edited and all that. It's that's the impact that we're making, and that's the impact we want to make.
Yeah.
And if we can help you build your socials, build your personal brand, make more money off social, that's what we do. Yeah. Because that's what we've done, and that's what we're good at. So watch this space, because one, we've got obviously the Christmas business brunch event in a few weeks. We've got Christmas, we're going to be talking about it loads leading up to Christmas. We've got New Year coming up.
Yeah, yeah.
2025 is going to be fucking massive.
And if you are coming to our Christmas brunch event, make sure you got your Christmas jumper on.
Oh yes, Christmas jumpers. And we are going to be providing fizz.
Provided by?
Think Wine. So Think Wine are providing the fizz for the Christmas brunch event. I've got to ring Bella because Bella is asking me how much we need. I don't actually know. I've never actually...
So if we've got 10 to 15 people, we need a couple of bottles. If we've got...
I know.
We need maybe 4 bottles max.
Yeah. I'll let her just get there and just pour it.
Yeah.
You know, we'll just get pissed on the day. Worst case scenario.
I'll get a lift.
I know. So, if anyone is in business, maybe wants an award submission, maybe wants some marketing help, what's the best place for them to find your availability, services, contact details?
So my marketing circle is very much about my marketing peer group, but my awards is another part of that. But absolutely get in touch through Caroline at the marketingcircle.uk and let's just get together here in the content room, sit down, have a conversation about what you're trying to achieve, and let's see where it takes us.
I love it. That was a yes. Amazing. I think we've done 48 minutes there, quality. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you.
This is going to get released pretty soon. Couldn't say when, but I'm going to release the first one on Friday. Okay. And then we'll go from there. But thanks so much. Appreciate it. That was cool.